Hey moms, you want the very best for your child and you have never danced before yourself. You want your child to have fun, but you want them to learn. You want value that exceeds the cost. Where do I begin? What am I looking for? How do I know what's best? Maybe these are some questions that you've been asking. Here are 10 suggestions for you to consider when looking at dance schools in your local area. First, know the style that you are looking for. Are you looking for jazz, tap, hip hop, ballet, lyrical? Each studio has its focus. Some studios choose to focus on one very specific thing, and other studios focus on multiple genres and styles. Know what it is that you want. What does your dancer want? And one way to know this about the school that you are looking at is to explore their mission statement. Most schools have a phrase, a tagline, something that expresses the heart of what they are wanting to do. Know your child's personality and needs. Some styles lend themselves to structure and routine and predictability. Other styles are less so. And knowing what your child needs, how quickly they need to move from thing to thing, can be very helpful in knowing what to look for when looking for a dance school. Third, read about and explore the bios of the dance teachers. By exploring this, you will find out a lot about the school that you're looking at. Every school has different credentials, different expectations, and criteria for the teachers that they hire. Fourth, what is the ratio of student to teacher? Know those numbers. Ask those numbers. Is it 1 to 10, 1 to 15, and what are you comfortable with? 5, call and speak to someone. It's true, customer service matters. And on a deep down gut level, taking that time, picking up the phone, talking to someone, and getting your questions answered will help you get a feel for the environment that you're exploring sending your child into. And truth be told, you're probably going to be spending most of your time talking to that person at the front desk, even more so than the teacher. And so having a good sense about who is there and what the feel of the school is can help. 6, ask friends that have kids in dance questions. They are some of your greatest resources. Ask them about the school that their child is taking dance in. What did they like? What has been difficult? What has been beneficial for their child? What has proved to be very hard? No school is perfect, and so reaching out and asking and getting more than just one opinion, more than just one comment or thought can be super helpful in making a decision about a school. 7, cost. Notice I didn't mention this first because ultimately cost has a lot more to do with value than it does the actual dollars. However, there are a few things to know. Do know that schools are pretty competitive with one another in your local area, so you're not going to see big, huge differences in cost. There may be some, but in general, remember, dance schools in your area are competing with each other to some extent, and so there's going to be some awareness on the school's part to be comparable to the others around them. However, there are a couple things you can ask about cost that don't have to do with the total price, but more some details. That is, what are their withdrawal policies? What are their costume fees, if that is associated? What are recital fees? Are there hidden fees? Are there things that are going to come up and catch you by surprise? That's often where dance can get expensive. Not necessarily in the upfront, hey, this is what I'm going to pay for my daughter to take class, but in some of those other details. So be sure to ask those questions. One thing to know when it comes to cost is that oftentimes schools will give multiple class discounts or a discount for multiple siblings. All of this is something to explore. 8, distance and your time. Consider your family's needs. Consider the time it will take to drive your child to dance. Consider the amount of time that they will be there, the length of their class. These are all excellent considerations to put on the table when you are making a decision about a local dance school. 9, recreational versus pre-pro. Now, in many ways, this goes along with the second tip or suggestion that I gave. However, it's a little bit different. Do pay attention to what the school seems to be focusing on and claiming. And if a school is stating that they are pre-professional, then really explore and understand why they are calling themselves that and what value they are bringing to the table. Both programs are valid. Both programs are necessary, and not all kids are going to become professional dancers. And there's so much value to the world of dance that extends far beyond having a career. But getting a sense of what you're walking into is important. And finally, last but not least, number 10, performance-based versus competition-based, or possibly both. Understanding what the schools are providing in performance outlets is very important. And it is not about one being right and the other being wrong. It is not that simple. There is so much value with both. There's value in excellent performances, theatrical staging, and all of the work that goes into that. And then there's equal value in the competition side of things. And there are challenges with the performance and there are challenges with the competition. And then sometimes you have a school that will do this fusion of both. And so be mindful to explore that possibility and maybe explore it with your dancer. What do they want? Because there are some kids who love the sense of competing, and then there are other kids that's not really what they're going for. They much prefer the process. Do know that most schools have a recital or an end of the year showcase, and that is very, very valuable. Just know going in that exploring whether it's a performance-based school or a competition-based school will help you know what is coming down the road. So Mom, as I wrap up, just remember, you know your child best. On a gut level, you know what your kid needs, and go with that. Know, moms, you are your child's greatest advocate. So know that any time that you spend on the phone, asking questions, Googling, doing this research will not be wasted. You're gathering solid information. And know that your child is uniquely loved. They are fearfully and wonderfully made. And there is a space out there for them to be included, for them to be valued, for them to be loved, for them to be taught and encouraged. And by doing this research, you will help find that space for them. Blessings.